So you have a lot of milk and you're ready to make cheese, but you don't have any of the ingredients for making cheese. We're here to help you today. Today we're going to be making paneer cheese, which is just an acid coagulated cheese. So stick with us, we'll show you how to do it. Hi, I'm Kristen. Paneer cheese is an Indian style cheese that is made without cultures and without rennet, and you can pretty much make it with what you have in the refrigerator. It uses an acid to coagulate the milk. Today we're going to use citric acid as our acid. You can get this at any health food store. If you don't have any citric acid, you can use lemon juice or even vinegar. I like the citric acid because it's a more consistent level of acid. You know, a lemon can vary from lemon to lemon. We're going to use 2 gallons of milk, but you can cut this recipe in half and just use a gallon. This is our raw goat milk. First thing we need to do is boil our milk. Yes, I said boil. Most cheese we're just getting up to 80 some degrees, but in this case we're going to bring this to a rolling boil. Pour this in here and turn the heat on. Now, I've already sterilized this pot and all my equipment by boiling a little bit of water in there for several minutes. Which is not as important with this cheese since we're heating it up as it would be for another cheese, but I have a good habit of doing that. You're going to want to stir this pot occasionally as it's coming up to temperature so that the milk doesn't stick or scorch on the bottom. While this is coming to a boil, I'm going to dissolve 4 teaspoons of the citric acid in about a 1/4 cup of water. 2, 3, 4. We've got this coming to a boil now. You can see it's taken a while. I'm going to go ahead and add our water with the citric acid and stir that. And what that should do is separate our curds out from our whey. You can see that happening. There's a bit of foam on the top, but you've got the yellow whey and our solid curds. So I turn the temperature off, the heat off. I'm going to stir this for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of kosher salt to this and let it sit with a lid on for 10 minutes. Then about 15 minutes, and I was waiting until this curd started to sink down below the whey, which it is now. So I'm going to bring the pot over here to the sink where I've got a colander that's lined with cheesecloth, and I clean the sink out real well. And actually I'm going to dump that everywhere, so let me try to set this to the side. We're going to grab these curds out, and then we're going to pour the rest of that whey through. They're going to slosh boiling water all over us. That might work better. All right, let's try this again. Let that drain a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to gather up the edges of this cloth. And it's hot. Okay. What we want to do is tie that up and let it drain over a bowl. Okay, I've let this cool down just a little bit so I can work with it. I'm going to tie a rubber band around the top of our cheesecloth. And I've got a bowl, and we're going to hang it up here on the counter to drain until it starts to get firm. And once it's firmed up, then I'm going to press it a little bit so that we can cut it into cubes later. So I'm gonna let this go for a couple hours and then we'll check on it. This has been draining for about an hour and a half now, and it's not really dripping anymore, so I'm gonna take it down and we're gonna press it between these two cutting boards. I've set up here a cookie sheet to catch any of the whey that'll drip out, and then I've got a cutting board, and another cutting board, and a weight. So I'm just going to take our curds here, set it on there, put our other cutting board on top, and balance our weight. You might want to come back and just make sure your weight stays balanced so it doesn't go sliding off. But that's it. We're going to leave it like that for a couple hours and come back and check it. This is ready for dinner. I'm in the middle of cooking an Indian dish right now. Stay tuned at the end of this video and I'll give you a preview of that. Let's take this out of our cheesecloth. There you go. They can be eaten just like this, but we're going to fry some up with this dish. Delicious. Dinner is served. Enjoy. If you like this video, please take the time to subscribe. It helps us out a lot.